Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to work on several different projects. In my last video, Suspending Items in Resin, Take 2, when I redesigned the snow globe, I mixed too much of the white resin that I was using for the snow. So I went ahead and poured it in this little coaster mold. And I added like a Merry Christmas sticker and then some blue heart stickers around it. And what I'm going to do with this is I am going to dome it with some clear. Also, I was dipping some flowers and dried leaves and stuff in the resin. And I actually use this to pour the resin in to dip those so that I can coat them for future projects. And once my mat got full, I still had a little bit of resin left in here. So I plan on just pouring some clear in there as well. And I don't know how well you can see it, but right here, there's no resin. So I have no idea how that's going to turn out, but I guess we'll find out. Also, when I was dipping, I started accidentally at first, just it was dripping in this coaster mold. And I said, well, might as well. And I plan on actually dusting that with the Galaxy mica powder and then mixing some black pigment in the resin and filling that with the black pigment. I have 4 little skull molds here because a family member has requested earrings out of these skulls. So for 2 of them, I'm going to dust them with the Galaxy and then pour the black mica in there. And then the other 2, I'm going to mix these little silver stars in some clear, and that's what I'm going to use for the other 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get these dusted. Now I will say this, that as far as pouring the resin, I'll do that off camera, and then when it's time to come back for the unmolding, I'll do that, and also for the earring reveal, or how I'm the plans in my head of how to make them, and I will try to get them made and show you how they turn out as well. But first things first, let me go ahead and get these little skulls dusted. Give it a little tap, get rid of the hair. There's one, and then one more for the skulls, because I'm only doing 2. I'm only going to do 2 with this mica powder, and then the other 2 will be with the stars and the clear. Now, I've done these skulls before, but I actually poured clear in them and it didn't look bad. But I am curious to see how it's going to look with the black. I just want to make sure I get every little nook and cranny in there. Give it a little tap tap, and that's that. So let's go ahead and get some mica on these water drops. And I do think I want to kind of take it up the side a little bit. For whatever reason, I really like it when the mica goes up the side some. And I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but yeah, there's all kinds of colors in this right now. I don't know if you're going to be able to, see the water drops. You should be able to, but when I pour the black on, but as far as the water drop technique, I haven't found, other than, black pigment, anything that they really show up real well. I mean, I've tried to do some white, it didn't work well. But I've only experimented with this stuff a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to get dust out of this one. Carefully turn it over, I guess. And I want to get that real well, because I am curious as to how this is going to show up. And this mold right here is actually called a coaster mold, and I did get this from Less Resin. Now, I want to say now that I am not sponsored by or affiliated with them at all. I just happen to like their products, and I've never used this mold. This will be like the first time, only because it is really big. Okay, let me see if I can carefully move this stuff and turn this over carefully and give it a little tap. There. Okay, let me go ahead and put those back up there. And what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix the resin, get it poured, come back for the unmolding, and then kind of tell you what I plan on doing with the earrings or how I plan on making them. And then I'll come back and show you the end results of those. So I will see you then. So it's time for the unmolding. Let me start with the little coaster. I mean, you can see what it looks like. That being said, I went a little overboard on doming it, so I'm going to have some trimming to do, quite a bit of trimming. And I have found out when you need to do something like that, it's best to do it before it cures too hard. I should be able to actually take a pair of scissors and just cut that off and then file it down a little bit. But if you ignore that, I think it turned out pretty cute. So let me set that aside. Let me move these. And on the flowers, because, you know, it was just, I just put them on top of a little bit of resin that was left in there. So we'll see what the other side's going to look like, because I have no idea what to expect. Oh, see, like I have a big bubble there, but I think I could probably drill that out and top coat it. That being said, I think on the flowers, because my next video, I am going to be actually making a couple of coasters. I don't know if they'll be the square or the round that are this size, and I'm going to put some like sage and rosemary and stuff. But instead of at the very bottom, I think it'd be better to kind of put it in the middle. And I did not pour enough, so I have some filing to do. But overall, considering that this wasn't planned, it was just like slap something in there. I fixed that hole. Overall, I don't think that turned out bad at all. All right, let me set that down there. And this is the one I'm real curious about. That's the water drop. And as you can see, this mold, it's easy to get the stuff out of it. Let me set the mold out of the way. And we will, again, I didn't pour it deep enough, so I have some filing to do. Oh, wow. I really love the way that these turned out. I just shift it back and forth so that you can see the multiple colors that's shifting through, the blues, the greens, the purples. I really like the Galaxy powder. And I'm about to turn this thing over and show you that I didn't fill it enough. Originally, I thought I would sand the backs of those, but instead what I'm going to do is actually pour a clear coat. Now I'm going to show you inside of the little skull molds with the stars. And as you can see, the stars sunk. So all of the stars, they were too heavy for the resin, but they're all going to be at the top of the skull. Let me get this mess cleaned up first. and then I will start unmolding them. And the mica does make quite a bit of mess, especially when you turn the molds over and do a thumb. All right, let's go ahead and start unmolding. Let's start with the clear ones. And they're really not too hard to get out of the molds. It's just the molds are tiny. It's hard for my hands to grasp. I'm not struggling near as much as what it appears. But as you can see, yes, all of the stars are right there in the top of the skull. But I'm still going to try to make a pair of earrings out of them. What is nice is the fact that there are no bubbles in the skull itself. And I learned that by the cheekbones, it does like to get bubble pits. So I've learned to kind of fill the molds half full and give them a little squish and a thump. And that seems to help a lot. But yeah, they're both just stars right in the top. We'll see what kind of earrings those make. And I'm just saying words and stuff right now. I have no idea what. Okay, let's go ahead and unmold the ones that have the galaxy powder and the epoxy with the black pigment in them. Oh, those really are pretty. I do love those. And unfortunately, again, the camera really is not picking up just how cool the color shifting is on them. And one more to go. I try real hard not to pop them too hard because they'll roll away. But those really did turn out well. Move the stuff out of the way and talk a little bit about the hardware I'm going to use to make these earrings. My terminology on jewelry hardware still needs some work. That's the hand drill I'm going to use. It's got a teeny tiny drill bit on it. What I tried to do is with my eye hook see just how wide it is and pick a drill bit that's just a little bit smaller than the eye hook. But I will be putting the eye hook in first and then attaching a jump ring to it, then the chain, a jump ring, and then the earring hoops. And these little cap thingies, I don't know, I may put them on there and see what it looks like before I put the eye hook in, but I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. And I do plan on drilling just at the very top of the skull molds to make the earrings. And this chain is a silver chain. It's a finer chain. I'm going to use it on the clear with the stars in it because I think it will look good. But I also found a really cool chunky chain. The chunky chain I plan on using on the ones that have the galaxy powder. And I'll probably only use like 2 links because they are bigger links. It's really not a heavy chain, it's just a chunky chain. But I think it will look cool on those. And as soon as I get the earrings made, I will come back on and show you the end results. And I make them off camera because I'm still quite slow at making jewelry. So I guess I will see you when it's time to reveal the earrings. See you then. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for tolerating me trying to narrate when my mic died on me. I had no idea the battery was that low. Now, onto the earrings. I decided not to use these little cap thingies because that's exactly what it looked like, little skulls wearing funny hats. So I did not put those on. Here is the pair that I put on the chains. the little fine chains with the stars. Let me grab both of them here so you can see them. So I think they turned out okay. I think that chain was a good match for this particular skull. And here are the ones with the chunky chains. See if I can pull those up there for you to see. Turn that over. And again, I think, let me put one of these down. I think the chunky chain looks really good on the color shift. Now, me personally, I think that these earrings would be too heavy for me. That being said, the recipient of these, she was looking at the skulls that I made in the video, removing bubbles and new skull molds, and she wanted earrings, and she said they would not be too heavy for her. So what do you think about the earrings? Let me know in the comments below. Also, in regards to the two big coasters that I made, I'm actually, instead of filing, I'm going to top coat those just to fill that in, because I think that would be easier to do than try to file, because there's a lot to file on them. And while I was waiting for the battery to the mic to charge, I was able to file the, first I cut the extra off with scissors and was able to file it, and I will probably use, like, I don't know, maybe a red or a blue chrome type marker for the sides of that. So I do want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that this video has inspired you. Please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and share buttons below. And I want to thank you again for watching, and I will see you for the next video. I am actually going to be putting like herbs and spices like rosemary, thyme, sage, and so forth into a bigger coaster. I don't know if it's going to be the square, the round, or the octagon. And I may even put one where I layer leaves. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.